I'm so excited to speak with you today. I was so in love with this movie. And The Color Purple has been around for a very long time with the book and the original Spielberg movie. But when were you first introduced to The Color Purple musical?
Um, well, I was I lived in New York for several years, and I was very fortunate to know of the musical back then. I think it's 2005. It's when I heard about it. Um, but when I was hired, I was also given tapes of the 2016 production, so I got a chance to see that as well.
Yeah, I mean, and these musical numbers in this movie just are totally incredible. How did you sort of approach the musical aspect of this movie?
Well, the musical aspect of the movie required that we were going to take the beautiful music we had been given from the Broadway production and figure out how to make it lived in. So that required me to split up the music into three parts: spirituals and gospel, blues, and jazz. And those three movements required practitioners who could come in and make it a more lived in experience and less of a stage experience. So I hired Ricky Dillard on gospel, hired Keb Mo on blues, hired Ricky Christian McBride on jazz. And the three of them kind of went in and kind of added that lived in experience that our film really needed. So that was a very helpful process for us because it allowed the music to feel like it functioned in the real world as opposed to a stage production.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that you sometimes see with movie musicals that the songs don't always fit in, but these just flowed so seamlessly throughout the movie. So I feel like, these Broadway fans are going to be very, very happy with them.
Very, very exciting. The other thing too, I think is very helpful is that the music has a source, right? And that for me was another very important thing. I watched several musicals getting ready to make this film, and the best ones were the ones that had kind of a source for their music. And so I was very clear that I was going to have to build cadence all the time before a full number kicks in. So whether it's my opening number where you hear the horses' hoofs that become the girls playing patty cake in a tree that become the banjo and then it blossom into a moment. Or Harper and his buddies building a house with hammers, saws, and chisels, and then before you know it, that cadence builds into a song. I think that those things ground the musical very much so and allows the audience a believability factor. Oh, I know where this song comes from. I think ultimately that's the best power of musicals is when the music kicks in when the words are not enough, right? And I think that we were very aware about that and how the music was going to flow.
Speaking of a moment where words are maybe not enough, I'm Here is one of the most iconic parts of the musical adaptation, and Fantasia just totally knocks it out of the park. What was it like working with her on that song?
Well, first, when you cast Fantasia, who is arguably one of the greatest singers of all time, you've kind of got the cheat code because you don't have to do much except let her do her thing. For me, in that moment, my job was just to take away all the distractions and make it just about her. Strip it all down. So we had had big epic dance numbers and lots of fancy lighting and fancy sequences, and that I was just like, you're just in your store, and you just come outside, just you. And she responded very well to that. I still think that when the camera is on her and she says, "I'm beautiful and I'm here," it's probably one of the most powerful moments. I tear up every single time. And she's a genius. She looks into the camera and delivers that line in one of the most powerful ways ever. So I can't say enough about how lucky I was to have Fantasia play Celie.
I mean, and surrounded by such an incredible cast. On more on that musical aspect, what do you hope fans of musical theater and Broadway enjoy about this movie elsewhere?
Well, I think that I hope that they enjoy the brilliant choreography and scale, which wasn't really a hallmark of the Broadway adaptation. Especially the revival is quite stripped down. And so this, I brought in Fatima Robinson, and she really opened up and turned this into grand spectacle. I also hope musical theater fans and students, appreciate the thoughtful way in which music is woven through the story, where it is actually a storytelling device and not a fancy addition. And so that's what I do hope for the film.
Yeah, I can't wait for everyone to see it. I mean, and this
Thank you.
movie is coming at a time where I think the world really, really needs it.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited for all the audiences to see it. So, what do you hope everyone takes away from this movie when they see it this holiday season?
Wow. Well, I really hope that people find a piece of themselves in it, and for anyone whose heart is open or heart is broken can find healing in it. That's what Alice Walker's seminal work has been, and I think we can all use a little healing. I also hope that people are thoroughly entertained. I think that this film has big laugh out moments. It has big gasping moments. It has some tragedy that makes you tear up and some happy reunions. And I think that you couldn't ask for a better full circle narrative where you leave feeling full.
How come you don't laugh none? Ain't you got something to make you just smile?
My sister, and I ain't seen her in years.
You know, if you ain't gonna laugh, you need to sell your funny bone.
I was married to a man I didn't love.
Whatever I say, go.
And he took my sister away from me.
Even if we have to part, you and me, us have one heart.
How come you so nice?
Don't know.
Maybe you too nice.
You seem like trouble.
I come here out of respect. But if there ain't none to get, there sure ain't none to give. There's gonna be some changes made.
Give me something.
You got to stand up.
I know my sister's somewhere in the world. Someday we're gonna meet again.
Keep your head held high, just like Mom taught us.
It's time I be free from you and then turn to creation.
I'd die before I let that happen.
Good. That's just the going away present I've been needing.
Time for you to see the world. Push the button. Ooh, sweet and loving God. President, you wanna come in?